If your legs feel heavy, swollen, or tired by the afternoon, especially after you turn 70, many people assume that this is just how aging works. They think poor circulation is something you have to accept, like gray hair or slower mornings. But here is what often surprises older patients when a surgeon explains it to them in plain language. In many cases, the problem is not your heart, and it is not your arteries alone. It is a small group of muscles in your lower legs that have quietly stopped doing their job. One orthopedic and vascular principle has been discussed for decades in medical training. Your calf muscles act like a second heart for your legs. Every time they contract, they help push blood back up toward your heart. When they weaken, blood tends to pull around the ankles and lower legs. This is why swelling, aching, and that heavy feeling often show up together. In a study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology in 2021, researchers followed older adults with mild circulation problems and found that targeted calf muscle activation significantly improved venous blood return over just a few weeks. The participants were not running, and they were not doing intense workouts. They were performing one very simple movement that most people overlook because it looks too easy to matter. This does not mean walking is bad for you. Walking is excellent for overall health, but walking alone does not always give these muscles the clear signal they need, especially after 70. That is why many surgeons quietly recommend adding one specific exercise to support leg circulation and reduce daily discomfort. In this video, I will walk you through that single exercise, starting gently and safely exactly as it is often taught to older adults. If you stay with me, you will see why this one movement can make your legs feel lighter and more comfortable again, without equipment and without strain. Before we begin, let me know your age and where you are watching from. And remember to like, share, and subscribe so more seniors can find this information. Exercise number 5 is gentle seated calf activation. This is often the very first exercise many surgeons recommend when an older adult mentions heavy legs, ankle swelling, or that tired, achy feeling that shows up by the end of the day. And at first glance, it can look almost too simple to matter. Many people see it and think, that can't possibly make a difference. But simple does not mean ineffective. This small movement targets a muscle system that becomes especially important for leg circulation after 70. And it does so in a way that's safe, supported, and easy to tolerate. You do this exercise sitting comfortably in a chair with your feet flat on the floor. There's no standing, no balance challenge, and no pressure on your knees or hips. That's exactly why it's such a good place to start. All you're doing is gently lifting your heels, while keeping the balls of your feet in contact with the ground. As your heels rise and lower, your calf muscles tighten and relax in a slow, controlled way. These muscles are often called the second heart of the legs because every contraction helps push blood upward toward your heart, working against gravity. And in everyday life, that job matters more than most people realize. When calf muscles become weak or stop activating regularly, blood tends to settle in the lower legs. That's when swelling, pressure, aching, and that heavy, weighed-down feeling often appear together. Reactivating these muscles helps support circulation during long periods of sitting, whether you're watching television, reading, or riding in a car. A study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology followed older adults with mild circulation issues and found that targeted calf muscle activation significantly improved venous blood return in just a few weeks. These participants weren't exercising hard. They weren't straining. They were using simple seated movements that sent a clear signal to the muscles responsible for assisting blood flow. To do this safely, sit upright in a sturdy chair and place your feet flat on the floor about hip-width apart. Slowly lift your heels as high as feels comfortable while keeping your toes down. Pause briefly at the top, then lower your heels back to the floor with control. Move slowly and breathe normally. If you notice cramping, simply lift your heels a little less or take a short break. One common mistake is rushing through the movement. Speed isn't the goal here. Gentle, controlled repetitions are far more effective for circulation than quick bouncing. Another common mistake is holding your breath, which can reduce the benefit and make you feel uncomfortable. For many older adults, this simple exercise supports comfort, confidence, and independence. It's gentle enough to do every day, even multiple times a day, without causing fatigue. And with consistent practice, many people notice their legs start to feel lighter, less tight, and more comfortable within a few weeks. This gentle activation sets the foundation for what comes next, where we begin adding stability and strength in a safe and supported way. Exercise number 4 is the supported ankle to knee flow. Once your calf muscles begin waking up, the next step is helping blood move more easily through the joints just above them. This gentle movement focuses on the ankles and knees working together, which becomes especially important for healthy circulation as we get older. This exercise is still done sitting down, so it remains safe, comfortable, and very approachable. You're seated in a chair with both feet resting on the floor. One leg at a time, you slowly slide your foot back toward the chair, allowing the knee to bend naturally. Then you gently guide the foot forward again until the leg is almost straight. Nothing is forced here. The movement should feel slow and controlled, almost as if you're guiding the joint rather than exercising it. As the knee bends and straightens, the muscles around the joint softly tighten and release. That gentle rhythm helps encourage blood to move upward instead of settling in the lower legs. This matters more than most people realize. Many older adults spend long periods sitting with their knees barely moving at all. Over time, limited knee motion can slow circulation and contribute to stiffness, swelling, and discomfort below the joint. By restoring this natural bend and straighten pattern, you help reduce fluid pooling and keep the lower legs more comfortable. Medical guidance summarized by the Cleveland Clinic has shown that gentle, repeated joint movement can improve venous blood flow and reduce stiffness in older adults, especially when it's paired with muscle activation below the knee. The key isn't effort. It's regular, comfortable motion that keeps the joints and surrounding tissues active. To practice, sit upright in a sturdy chair and place your hands lightly on the sides for support. Slowly slide one foot back, bending the knee only as far as feels comfortable. Pause briefly, then slide the foot forward again with control. Switch legs and repeat. Breathe normally, and keep the movement smooth and relaxed. If you notice any knee discomfort, simply reduce the range of motion and stay within a pain-free zone. A common mistake is pushing the knee too far or moving too fast. This exercise should feel calming, not challenging. Think of it like oiling a hinge, not stress testing it. For seniors, this movement supports comfort and confidence when standing up, walking, or climbing steps. It builds on the circulation benefits of the previous exercise and gently prepares your legs for what comes next, where balance and stability begin to play a bigger role. Exercise number 3 is supported standing weight shift. Once circulation has been gently encouraged through your calves, ankles, and knees, the next step is teaching your legs how to handle your body weight smoothly again. This movement introduces standing in a controlled, reassuring way, without pushing your balance or strength beyond what feels comfortable. For this exercise, stand behind a sturdy chair or next to a kitchen counter and rest your hands lightly on the support. Your feet stay about hip-width apart, planted firmly on the floor. From here, slowly shift a little more weight onto one leg, then gently return to center. Then shift toward the other leg and come back again. The movement is small, calm, and deliberate. You're not lifting your feet. You're not testing how long you can balance. You're simply teaching your legs and hips how to share your body weight smoothly. This ability matters more than most people realize. Every step you take, every turn you make, and every small adjustment while standing requires your body to transfer weight from one leg to the other. When that process becomes hesitant or uneven, circulation can slow, stiffness can build, and discomfort can appear more easily, especially after sitting for a while. Clinical guidance, including recommendations from the Mayo Clinic, shows that supported standing movements help improve lower leg circulation and coordination in older adults, particularly when balance confidence has started to fade. These gentle weight shifts allow muscles to tighten and release in a rhythmic way, encouraging blood flow without the strain of traditional exercise. To practice, stand tall with your chest relaxed and your eyes looking forward. Shift your weight slightly to the right and notice the pressure through your foot. Then return to center. Shift to the left and return again. Keep the movement slow and steady, breathing normally the entire time. If you feel unsteady at any point, make the shift smaller or allow your hands to take a bit more support. A common mistake is locking the knees or leaning the upper body too far to one side. That's not what we're aiming for here. The goal is quiet control, not range or speed. Think of your weight moving like a pendulum, smooth, gentle, and predictable. For older adults, this exercise supports circulation, balance, and confidence while standing. It builds naturally on the seated movements and prepares your body for more functional, real-life movements coming up next. Exercise number 2 is chair-assisted sit-to-stand. After your legs have been gently reactivated and your balance has been reintroduced, the next step is strengthening circulation through a movement that closely mirrors real life. Standing up from a chair is one of the most important actions for maintaining leg strength, circulation, and independence after 70. This exercise begins seated in a sturdy chair. Place your feet flat on the floor, slightly tucked back behind your knees. From here, lean your upper body forward just enough to bring your weight over your feet, then slowly rise up to a standing position. Once you're standing, pause briefly. Then lower yourself back down with the same calm, controlled movement. You can rest your hands on the armrests or on your thighs if you need extra support. There's no rush here, and there's no need to make the movement harder than it needs to be. In everyday life, standing up from a chair happens many times throughout the day. Each time you do it, the large muscles in your thighs, hips, and calves contract together. That coordinated effort is especially helpful for circulation because it assists blood flow upward through the legs while also building practical, usable strength. When this movement starts to feel difficult, many people begin avoiding it without realizing it. Over time, that avoidance can quietly lead to more weakness, poorer circulation, and a loss of confidence in everyday movement. Guidance shared by Harvard Health explains that slow, controlled sit-to-stand movements improve lower body muscle activation and support healthy venous blood flow in older adults. The key is control, not speed, especially if you have joint sensitivity. To practice safely, begin with just a few repetitions. Take about 3 seconds to stand up, then take even longer to sit back down. Breathe normally throughout the movement and avoid holding your breath. If your knees feel uncomfortable, reduce how low you sit or use your hands more for support until strength improves. A common mistake is dropping quickly back into the chair. That removes much of the benefit and can place unnecessary stress on the joints. Moving slowly keeps the muscles working longer, which supports circulation, stability, and confidence. For seniors, this exercise supports independence, reduces reliance on assistance, and helps the legs feel more active throughout the day. It naturally sets the stage for the final movement, where circulation, strength, and everyday function come together in the most meaningful way. Exercise number 1 is the controlled heel to stand flow. This is the movement many clinicians quietly consider the most valuable for leg circulation after 70. Not because it's difficult, but because it brings together everything your legs need to do in everyday life. Calf activation, weight transfer, standing strength, all in one smooth, practical pattern. You start this exercise standing, with your hands resting lightly on a chair, countertop, or any stable surface nearby. Your feet are about hip-width apart, and your posture is relaxed and upright. First, slowly lift your heels just a little off the floor and feel your calves gently turn on. Then lower your heels back down with control. From there, bend your knees slightly, as if you're just beginning to sit, and then straighten again, choosing to stand tall instead. The movement flows calmly from heel lift to gentle knee bend, back to an easy standing position. In everyday life, this pattern matters more than most people realize. Each time you rise from a chair, take a step forward, or adjust your stance, your calves, thighs, and hips must work together. When they do, blood is encouraged to move upward through the legs, and your body reinforces the strength and coordination it needs to stay independent. Many circulation issues worsen simply because these muscles stop working as a team. Guidance from the National Institutes of Health shows that coordinated lower body muscle activation supports venous blood return and functional mobility in older adults more effectively than isolated movements alone. When leg muscles contract in a controlled sequence, circulation support becomes steadier and more reliable throughout the day. To practice, stand tall but relaxed. Lift your heels slowly and pause briefly. Lower them with control. Then bend your knees just a little and straighten again. Keep the movement smooth and unhurried, breathing normally the entire time. Start small and increase the range only if it feels comfortable. If you ever feel unsteady, use more support through your hands or reduce the depth of the movement. A common mistake is rushing or turning this into a squat. That's not the goal here. This exercise is about calm, confident motion that your body recognizes and can repeat daily. For many older adults, this single movement supports circulation, balance, and independence, all at once. If you were to choose just one exercise to help your legs feel lighter and stronger after 70, this is the one many professionals recommend building into a routine. Over the last few minutes, you've seen that improving leg circulation after 70 doesn't require pushing harder or doing complicated workouts. It starts by gently waking up the muscles that help move blood, then restoring motion through the joints, then relearning how to share body weight with confidence, and finally, bringing everything together in a calm, functional standing movement. Each step builds on the one before it, just like the body prefers. When these movements are practiced consistently, many older adults notice their legs feel lighter, less tight, and more dependable. Standing up becomes easier. Sitting for long periods feels more comfortable. Walking feels more confident. Not because you forced your body, but because you reminded it how to work together again. Circulation improves not through intensity, but through clarity and repetition. And the long-term benefit goes far beyond comfort. Supporting leg circulation helps protect balance, reduces fear of falling, and preserves independence. These aren't small things. They're what allow you to stay active at home, enjoy time with family, and move through daily life without constantly worrying about your legs holding you back. Aging doesn't mean giving up control. It means choosing movements that respect where your body is today while still encouraging it to adapt. Small, thoughtful practices like these can quietly support your health for years to come. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which leg issue affects you most right now? Heaviness, swelling, or fatigue? Leave a comment with your age and where you're watching from. And if this video helped you, please like it, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more guidance designed specifically for older adults.